Welcome to the MNmaxed Podcast, a place for adventurers and friends. You join us as we delve deeper into the Fall of Plaguestone and Pathfinder Second Edition. A recap of Session 10. We investigate the Wolf Cave, this gross-ass pool filled with blight water. We're pretty sure it's fed from an underground stream. Nawala has a good idea of where it is. She leads us to the area. Before we venture off, she gives us some potions. As we move into the blight, things get worse and worse. There's rings of degradation. We encounter more of the viney plant monsters, but these ones seem weaker and go down like bitches. We find a portal made of brambles. We try to burn it down, which doesn't really work. Vorn tries some druidy shit, and we're able to pass through.
Fucking secret doors. Secret mechanisms to open up obvious doors.
It will cause the door to... It starts like growing backwards, making that growing sound. Just... And then it reveals...
Boiling tar pit or something?
The mud bath. I'm gonna go dive in.
In this map, there is, like, right past the door, there is this, what looks like a pit of bubbling, miry mud. There also appears to be, like, 3 corrals with the doors open, which is not what I was expecting.
All right, I'm going to go through the scene here with you. On the other side of the wall of brambles is a yard that's dominated by 3 large wooden cages and a pool of bubbling sludge. A wretched-looking horse stands in one of the cages, while another cage is filled with a swarm of gigantic rats covered in white blisters. The third pen looks empty, but it appears to be built around a small cave located in the hillside. There's also another cave entrance on the north side near one of the pens. Just as you guys walk in here, a couple of things happen all at once. You notice that there are 2 orcs standing, one just outside the cage with the horse, and one just outside the cage with the rats. Now, as soon as the door opens, both of the orcs open their corresponding cages.
And they step inside and then close the doors, for they have been
Oh, hello, adventurers. Let us just put us in these cages with these dangerous animals and take care of ourselves for you, see?
Yes.
Well, we just want to prove that we're not a threat, is really all they're doing.
That's all they're doing.
Perfect.
We don't want to be killed. I mean, we understand that we're orcs in a spooky area. We don't want that to fool you into thinking archetypical things of us. This is just a place where we're living. Nobody else is here. The rent is low. The atmosphere is not the greatest, but it's cheap. So please don't kill us.
I believe them.
Brothers, let us go to the wood.
None of that actually happens. They sick the corresponding animals on you.
Yeah, that's how archetypical.
That's more appropriate, right?
I mean, I'm a half orc too. I'm gonna talk to them and be like, brethren, let's go frolic in the woods together.
No, they're not half orcs, brah. Those are full-blown orcs.
Yeah, they don't
Still
like
speak
me. They fucking racist assholes.
Alright, so I see them open the gates. Do I have reaction?
No. We're actually jumping right into combat. The thing here is going to be that they're going to need to use their actions during combat to open the gates. So that's going to be when they do it. You can see them go to open the gates, but now that we're in initiative, they're going to have to use their turns to open those gates. Initiative, please.
I get a 23.
Varnak is at 28.
I got 10.
Damn.
A mouthful of food. I got 23.
So you guys got really high on your initiatives here. First action here is actually going to be Varnak. Varnak goes first with a 28.
How far is that,
85 to Orc 2.
85 is.
Yep, that's what I counted.
You know what?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't play into their game. Funnel them. Funnel them to us. Let them run past this fucking mire of mud.
Can I see orc number 2 from where I'm at?
That's just the one straight across.
I would say, yeah, you can.
Let me double check quick draw. Okay, so it says you interact to draw a weapon, then strike with that weapon. Does that mean it's only melee? Is strike only melee, or?
No. Strike's not only melee.
Strike is anything, right?
Yeah, strike is something you're making an attack roll with, from what I gather.
Then yeah, I think I can do that. Yeah, I will quick draw my bow and then shoot at it.
And that's a single action.
That is a single action.
All right. So then go ahead and make your ranged strike.
I get a 10. I'm guessing that doesn't hit.
10 does miss.
So it's still only one action. I'm going to keep shooting just because I can. Hoping for that 20. I get a 6 on the second one.
Oh, 6.
And then this one's at a -5, so that's a 5. Those are not good rolls.
All 3 arrows, shoot, shoot, shoot. Miss, miss, miss. Then after Varnak, orc number 2 there, the one that you're shooting at, he reaches over, he uses his first action to unlock the gate door. And this is the eastern gate, the one that's holding the 2 rats with the white spots on them. And uses his second action to open the door. And then his third action to...
Draw his weapon.
Yeah, he's going to pull out a javelin.
Oh my.
Are you scared, Plum? I know
No.
that spears and checked into you before.
Plum gets a little PTSD. Alright, then after that orc, actually the large horse, it's the horse's turn.
Does it look somewhat mutated?
I'm gonna show the party a picture of this horse.
It's a stone horse?
It's a stone horse.
It is, in fact, it does look like a stone horse. Its eyes are glowing red. Its hooves seem to be made of metal. They have spikes on the front of the hooves. And it looks impatient. Very, very impatient back where it's at, behind a locked cage door. It can't do anything, but it kind of paces back and forth in the small space it has to work with. Plum, it is your turn.
Would you say I have line of sight to orc number 2 from where I'm at?
Yeah, you would.
Fantastic. Ray of Frost is 120-foot range, so that's what I'm going to do.
That'll work.
Spell attack at orc number 2. I will get I roll a 9, I get a 17 to hit it.
17 does hit.
Fantastic. I will deal him 5 frosty damage. And that's 2 actions. I want to look... Does it look like I could climb on this shrubbery?
And not if you want to get a bunch of thorns in your hands. There are big, wicked, cruel barbs on these things.
Okay. Then I think I am simply done. I will end my turn.
Then after Plum, it is Vorn's turn.
I will take my first action to get in the back of the line, because somehow I ended up in the front again, and fuck that. And I will Ray of Frost, just like David did. I roll a nat 1.
That's gonna miss.
Like you hit the wall before you don't even make it like through the opening.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Also, good time for me to point out the entire party is still beyond the other side. They still haven't entered into this yard. Then after Vorn, one of the rats starts making its way out of the cage. Okay, the first rat runs all the way across the yard from behind the cage. Uses all 3 of its actions to try to get towards the party, and he still can't make it there all the way. Then, second icy rat does the exact same thing. Runs across the entire yard, but doesn't quite make it beyond the bush wall to get to the party. Daru.
Do you think I could interact and grab 2 potions with one round?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Assuming, are you talking about one interact action?
Yeah, to grab.
Oh, that'd be interact action per whatever you're doing.
Alright, well, I'll interact to grab the Barkscone potion.
Okay.
I'll drink it. I'll interact to grab my lesser mutagen that I got off Halid.
Ooh.
And I suppose end my turn.
Orc number 1, the one next to the north cage, the one that holds the stone horse, uses his first action to unlock the cage, second action to open the door, and his third action to draw what looks like a small dagger. It looks like a dagger that he's holding in between the fingers. It's called an orc knuckle dagger.
That's cool.
So he's got his...
Let's say it's like a
dagger,
punching dagger.
Sort of, except for the blade kind of goes through and in between his fingers. And so he holds it in a fist. And he pulls that out. After his turn, we go back to the top of the order. Varnak, you're up.
Dropping a weapon. What kind of... Is that
Free action.
Still? So the horse hasn't... Did the horse not delay? It just didn't decide not to do anything?
The horse.
How does ready work?
It's cost 2 actions. And what it does, if I remember correctly, I'll have to look this up now too, just to make sure.
Okay, so choose a single action or free action you can use and designate a trigger. So it's 2 actions to get 1 action.
But you get to use it whenever your trigger is met.
Can I see Icy Rat too from where I'm standing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna designate him my hunt prey, and I'm gonna shoot at him. I get a 21 to hit it.
21 does hit.
We will deal it 3 damage, and then I will attempt to hit it again. And my reading of flurry is just as attacks. It doesn't say melee or ranged or anything. So I'm assuming that works for this also with the reduced penalty.
And this is using which ability? The Hunter's Edge Flurry?
Yes, it's using the flurry from Hunter's Edge. You have trained to unleash a devastating flurry of attacks upon your prey. Your multiple attack penalty for attacks against your hunted prey is -3. -2 with an agile weapon on your second attack of the turn instead of -5, and -6 on your third or subsequent attacks of the turn instead of -10.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It doesn't really state that it's melee specific.
It would really be unfair to do that because there's none of the other ones would necessarily be only for ranged or anything like that.
I see. Okay. So flurry does work with a bow then. Okay, cool.
So I will shoot at it again, and that's a 7, so I'm thinking that's not going to hit.
That's a miss.
And that's 2 more arrows. I am done. And I am actually keeping track of my arrows.
Are you really?
Wow.
I am, really.
Wow.
Accountant.
It's actually really not that hard in Fantasy Grounds. You just tell it how many arrows you had, and then you start checking them off.
It is now the orc that opened the cage that held the icy rats. It's his turn. And he moves across the yard and kind of, he removes himself from being in line of sight of the party by moving out aside the door. And he pulls up next to the thorny barrier. And after that orc's turn is the large stone horse's turn.
It tramples orc number 1.
Kills it until it's dead. No, he'll. So it's blocking up the doorway. It's basically standing in the doorway, so you can't see beyond it. But it used all 3 of its actions to get up there, and now it is Plum Pargator's turn.
Well, we are going to just unleash all hell on this horse. First thing I'm going to do is take an action to move back to here. I'm just moving back about 10 feet, just getting back as far as I can while still having line of sight. Then I'm going to use my most powerful direct spell, which is Hydraulic Push, which requires me to make a spell attack. That is a level 1 spell. One of the 4 I can cast for the day.
All right.
My spell attack, I roll a 2. I am going to hero point that.
Hey.
Use my hero point and re-roll that. I roll a 3. I get a total of 11. I do not believe I have hit with Hydraulic Push since session 1.
Yeah, where you hit the wolves with it.
Yep, I do not believe I have hit with it since. That is going to be the end of my turn.
You hit the bear with it, didn't you? Didn't you push that bear back?
Yeah, you're right. I think I did hit the bear with it. Never mind. I've hit with it twice, and I've rolled it many times.
No, more than twice.
Including re-rolls, yeah.
Yeah, I am done.
All right. After Plum, it is Vorn's turn.
So is there a skill check of any sort I can make on the horse to try to figure out what it is? I mean, apart from the fact it's a fucking stone horse. Like, how is there a stone horse? What is it? Weaknesses, strengths?
I mean, this is a completely unique creature for reasons I'll get into later with you. I'm going to say save yourself the seek knowledge roll. Save yourself the action. Because I can't give you any information about it. You won't get any information from it.
Okay. I don't know what I want to throw at a stone horse.
Rocks.
Brownies.
Let's throw fire at it. No. Lightning. No. Acid?
I mean,
Bludgeon.
generally acid is good against, like, armor, so it could be good against stone. Water?
Tyler's face is telling me otherwise.
I don't have water. I have frost. Ray of Frost was the only one I think.
Oh yeah, ice opens up cracks in stone and tears it apart.
Fire a Ray of Frost at the horse.
Big
All
brain
right.
time.
Sounds good. Go ahead and give me your spell attack roll.
Let's apply some real world physics into our make believe.
18 to hit.
18 does hit.
Should I even roll damage?
Yeah.
6.
You deal 6 damage to the stone horse.
It's dead.
Yep, now it's totally dead. No, it's not.
We win.
No, it does seem to deal all that damage too. Vorn, you still have one more action, correct?
Yeah, I'm not gonna do shit with it though.
Nothing?
Not even gonna move farther away.
No, because it's got to go through you guys to get to me.
Not that hard.
All right.
I'll wait.
Oh, it's called Overrun.
Then after Vorn, it is one of the Icy Rat's turns. It's going to move up to Varnak. And it is going to bite at you, Varnak. Gets a 9 to hit.
That does not hit.
Didn't think so. Okay, so then it misses with its first jaw attack. It is going to make a second attack with its jaws. And this time gets an 8 to hit.
Still no.
That is a miss. Alright, so Icy Rat 1 is finished. Which means the second one goes. He strides up to Daru. And he goes to bite at Daru. Daru does a 15 hit.
No.
Alright. And he's going to take another bite at you. He rolls a natural 1. Wow. That didn't do
Successful.
very good at all. It's Daru's turn.
All right, I'll take the potion that I had in my hand.
Okay. And that's the lesser juggernaut mutagen.
Yep. And I will swing down on this rat in front of me here.
Oh,
Dear
shit.
God.
8 on a natural 20.
No, that definitely hits. And it is, in fact, a critical hit.
14 damage.
Daru completely smashes this rat's skull into the ground.
Fuck rats.
And it dies.
Alright, well,
As you bring the hammer down on the rat's skull,
it explodes and I take 3d6 damage.
it explodes in a burst of frozen fur and bone. Give me a reflex save.
I have to ask, is this because it died or because of the critical?
I won't tell you.
Damn it. Told us on the other one.
Don't worry, we'll find out once I critically kill the next one.
Everybody, let's see, it's going to be Varnak. You're going to need to give me a reflex save. Daru needs to give me a reflex save, and I need to make a reflex save for the Stone Horse. Stone Horse gets a 25.
Varnak gets a 23.
So the Stone Horse critically succeeds. It's saved.
19.
Varnak succeeds, so does Daru. So you're both going to take half of this damage. So you take 2 points of cold damage as that rat just bursts into a frozen ball of fur and debris hits you. It dies.
You did.
Daru, that was your first action, right?
Second.
That was your second, okay.
So this will be my third action to swing at the other one and probably kill it, you know. 16 to hit.
16 hits.
12 damage.
Jeez. Big hit on that rat. Does not kill it, but it is very badly hurt. Good turn, Daru. Next up is the orc that was outside of the Stone Horse's cage. He runs across the yard. You guys can't see this, really. The Stone Horse is in the way. But he runs across the yard. It is now Varnak's turn.
Well, I am going to start out by just hoping I can take this guy out without designating him as my hunter prey, because I want to use that action. So I'm just going to take one swing with my battle axe at him first. Nope. Natural 1. Bad choice.
That'll miss.
Second action, I will use my hunt prey. Third action, I will attack this guy with twin takedown. So we got a 19 to hit.
19 does hit.
So we will deal him 5 damage.
5 damage will kill that rat. And as you slice across its body with your battle axe, it also explodes into a burst of frozen fur. I need a reflex save from, same as before, from Varnak, from Daru, and from the large horse.
Varnak gets a 26.
Okay, Daru
9 to 20.
gets a 20. Large horse gets a 7. So you guys will take half of this damage again. Horse would
I don't
take.
suppose a 26 is a critical success.
It is not.
Dang.
Another 2 damage. No, I lied. 26 is a critical success.
So do I take no damage then?
So you take no damage.
Sweet.
Daru will take 2 damage. Varnak takes no damage. Horse takes 4 cold damage. Varnak, is that all of your turn?
That is all on my turn.
Alright, we got 2 dead rats, yet there are 2 orcs, and 1 large stone horse remaining. So that orc was the one that had the javelin out. He'll stride to here. He's going to throw a javelin at Varnak, but the big stone horse is really getting in his way. So he's going to take negatives to this and completely biffs it. Gets a 6 total. The javelin just flies right past you, Varnak. And he's going to use his third action to draw his knuckle dagger and then hang out behind the horse.
Hope he doesn't get kicked.
Speaking of the horse, it's its turn.
Speaking of getting kicked.
Yeah, speaking of getting kicked, he is first going to make a hoof attack against Varnak. Gets a 25 to hit.
Yeah.
Deals Varnak 12 damage.
Ow.
Ooh.
And then he is going to use his second hoof attack against Daru. Get a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
And then deals 6 damage.
-2.
Did you get healed to full after that last fight?
No, I have 5 temporary hit points from the mutagen, and I also have resistance 2 from the bark skin.
Nice.
Third action, it's going to try to attack Varnak again. Going to get a 3, which misses.
No.
Then after that, it is Plum's turn.
All right, well, we're going to have some real fun here because we're again going to try hydraulic push. But now that there's an orc immediately behind the horse and a pit of boiling mud or something right behind the orc, this could get real fun.
All right.
So we're going to throw a hydraulic push at Mr. Horse and just hope for a good roll. Here goes nothing.
Don't fuck it up, Plum.
Hey, I roll a 15 to get a 23 to hit the horse with hydraulic push.
23 hits the horse.
Fantastic. And that is going to be 3d6. I roll 11 damage on the 3d6.
Wow.
And
okay.
the horse is pushed back 5 feet. So however you want to rule that with the orc right behind it and the pool of mud right behind the orc, I think it would be hilarious if the horse got pushed back 5 feet, pushed the orc back 5 feet, and the orc fell in the mud.
So here's what's going to happen. You are, in fact, going to push the horse back 5 feet. Now, that orc is directly behind the horse, and yes, it will also get pushed 5 feet back.
Hell yeah.
Now, the orc is going to fall into this bubbling pit of sludge. So first he has to make a fortitude save, which he fails horribly on. Is it a horrible fail or just normal fail? Just a normal fail. Okay, so he fails on. He's going to end up taking 2d4 points of acid damage, and he is now sickened 1. That went pretty well for you. Yeah, so you end up pushing the horse back 5 feet, and the horse kind of rears up a bit to try to resist it, and ends up bumping right into the orc and just falls right into this pit. And you immediately hear his skin begin to sizzle.
Oh, that's gross.
Falling into this mud pit.
I'm sorry. That seems really terrible. I didn't really want that to happen, but you attacked us, and I'm sorry. But I'll try and put you out of your misery quick.
All right, Plum, well done. That was one
That's a
action.
good turn. That was 2 actions. Third action.
Sorry.
Third action. I am going to activate Roxy, and Roxy is going to spend 2 actions concentrating, and that will regen me 1 focus point.
Whoa, okay. Is this a new master ability?
That is the master ability I took for today.
What's it called?
I think it's called Familiar Focus, I believe.
That's really cool. So Roxy just regenerates a focus point for you?
I can read it here. It is indeed called Familiar Focus. Once per day, your familiar can use 2 actions with the Concentrate trait to regen 1 focus point up to your usual maximum. You must have a focus pool to select this.
That's really fucking cool.
Yeah!
So what was your focus spell?
My focus spell was the Elemental Toss that I used early on.
The one that has 1 action.
It's only 1 action, which I like, so when I really need to deal damage, I can throw out 2 spells in 1 turn using that.
Got it.
And I am done.
All right, then after that, it is Vorn's turn.
Heal, 2 action for the most heals possible.
To whom?
The guy that took all the fucking damage, Varnik.
Varnik, you're getting healed. Yay.
I rolled a 2, but it's +8, so 10.
Nice. I'll take it.
Nice.
HPs is HPs.
And third action, I'm gonna actually move up closer to Varnak and Daru.
All right. then after Vorn, it is Daru's turn.
How tall is the shrubbery? Or is it like a wall of like...
It's a wall. It's not something that you can look or see over.
Like how tall?
15 feet tall.
1 second.
1 second. You're gonna jump over it?
I would need to roll like a 40 to do that. Okay, well, I'll just step up to this guy about 10 feet, and I'll smack the horse with my warhammer.
Smack the horse. Oh shit.
I'm insane tonight.
That's 27 to hit. That's another critical hit.
18
nice.
damage.
Jeez, Daru, you're just knocking them out. You end up hitting the horse right in its chest, and it crumbles to dust.
Frick yeah.
Wow, well done.
And I'll just pursue this guy and try to like hover over, prevent, like, I'm gonna keep him down there, but I'll be done.
Okay.
He tries to
Oh, you
climb
can
out.
just
You
shove,
like
you
hit him
can
on
shove
the-
him.
I could shove
Mace
with
has
my
the shove
warhammer.
of the. Oh, that is hilarious.
Just continue to push him in.
Oh,
just
I feel like
taking
that might
that
be a little...
it's the worst death ever.
That would be really shitty.
Do it.
All right. Well, it is not that orc's turn, but his buddy's turn, and he's gonna come around behind you to flank you with him. Now his friend doesn't have any weapons drawn, but he is still
And-
threatening.
Is swimming in a pool of sludge.
I would say it's
Like
less
standing
swimming
in
and more he got pushed back into it. It's right on the edge.
He's like in the shore of the acid.
Yeah, yep, there you go.
He didn't like fall down when he got pushed.
No, he didn't fall down. He just
Staggered
got
back.
pushed back into it. He's maybe like up to his knees in it. But his buddy's gonna come up behind Daru, and he's gonna punch at you with his orc knuckle dagger. He's gonna get a 12 to hit.
I'm gonna say that's a miss.
Well, that sucks. He's gonna swing at you again. Holy crap!
I'm gonna say you missed.
Rolled a 4, miss. I rolled a natural 1. My rolls have been real shit tonight.
Hey,
Taking
turn.
over the power.
Yeah,
Complaints.
tables have turned since last week.
Yeah, no shit, right? All right, well then that's gonna put us back up at the top of the order. It's Varnak's turn.
Varnak's going to start out by designating Orc 1 as his hunted prey. Action 2 is going to be a stride up to, conveniently he set himself up for flanking for Daru and I. So I will flank with him.
So we got
Make
this
him
flanking
flat-footed.
conga line going
Yeah.
now.
Pretty much.
Nice.
No, we're going boy, girl, boy, girl. And then I will use my third action. I will use Twin Takedown.
18 does hit.
So we will deal him 11 damage.
Wow.
Battle
Okay.
axe.
That was a big hit.
And then we will take the light hammer. See if we can take him out. I get a 15 to hit him.
Because it's flat-footed, yes. 15 does hit.
So we will deal him an additional 6 damage with the hammer.
And you almost, Daru's almost distracting him for you. You slice him across the back with your battle axe and then just connect right in the soft spot at the top of the orc's head, and it just crumples like a sack of potatoes.
I'm just giving him a wet willy.
Gross. All
So
right,
this was
well,
a
that's-
successful round.
Yeah, I would say so. One orc down. It is the second orc's turn, and it doesn't want to be in this pit anymore. Use a stride action to get out of that.
Free action to tell it to stand down. I'm a redeemer.
I offer in, what I will be given.
I've literally one-shot like 3 of his guys.
You have.
Not quite.
We've killed 4 out of 5 of his friends.
Yeah.
But this is if he understands comment at all. I don't have.
This is only like the third. This is top of third round of combat too. That was fucking quick. Nah, it just speaks orc.
Vorn, help me.
It looks at you and
Tell him to stand down.
I say hello in Orcish.
Hello.
Loktar. Oh my god.
How you doing?
I'm just trying to have a conversation with it. Just tell it to fucking stop attacking.
I flirt. I should not be the one to do this.
No, it's going to attack our boy Daru here.
I tried.
It's going to
Viewers
use an
can't say that
interact.
I'm gonna lose my.
No, I appreciate you trying. Its first thing it's going to do is it's going to make a disarm check on Daru. Daru, this is going to be against your reflex DC. Okay, it's going to make a disarm attempt.
No, what's my reflex DC?
Your
It's
10
just like
plus
save
your
plus 10.
reflex.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's his athletics check versus your reflex DC. And I rolled a natural 1. Or sorry, a natural
Incorrect.
20. Natural 20.
We'll take it.
I'll drop my warhammer. Well, I'll be disarmed of it.
Yeah, and it's a critical success.
So can you critically succeed on that?
Gonna
Yes.
disarm.
You
Let's
knock
do
the
that.
item out of the
Destroy.
opponent's grasp. It falls to the ground in the opponent's space.
So what does a non-critical success do?
Just a regular success. This one's weird. You weaken your opponent's grasp on the item, and until the start of that creature's turn, attempts to disarm the opponent of that item gain a +2 circumstance bonus, and the target takes a -2 circumstance penalty to attacks with the item or other checks requiring a firm grasp on the item. It's a little odd.
Is that an attack or a skill?
It isn't. It's a skill action, but it has the attack trait.
Oh, okay.
So when it's going to make its final action, which is going to be to hit you, it will be with the multiple attack penalty, and it's gonna swing at you with its knuckle dagger, and it's gonna miss with a 9.
Okay.
All right, then it's Plum's turn.
All right, so I could move to there with 2 stride actions. I get past the brambles into the area where I can see Mr. Orc Brute number 2,
Okay.
and I will cast. Yeah, wish I spoke Orc. I will cast a Ray of Frost at him.
Okay.
Just nice and simple. Spell attack roll.
Didn't you say it was a 2 stride to get there?
Oh, you're right. You're right. So I will use my focus.
You do have to remember, though, that this is 10 foot wide, this doorway. It's 10 feet wide. You could probably stand north of Vorn and
Vorn.
see it.
You probably could.
It's
Or
the-
use your focus point.
Okay.
Yeah, if you were right here, you would be able to see it. Now, Varnak is giving it cover.
Yeah, I'll do what I did. I'll get up north of him, and I'll just use my 1 action to cast my focus spell that
Okay.
I had regained anyway. And spell attack roll. I roll a 10, get a total of 18.
18 does hit.
So that is just a straight up 1d8 damage. I roll a 7 damage.
7 points of bludgeoning damage, right?
Yeah, from a ball of water. Very hard water.
That ends up hitting it right in the chest, and it falls down, and it doesn't get back up.
Boom! We
You should have
rocked
listened,
that
you
combat.
dumb slut. Sorry.
I was
Hey.
trying to redeem you.
There's no reason to slut shame. me.
Just assume it works.
Yeah, I'm going to slut shame in our Pathfinder game.
Sorry, I took it too far.
She can do what she wants.
We can orc shame.
She could also die, though.
Well, we
'Cause,
killed
you know,
the shit out of her either way.
Orcs.
We came out of that with all green health. I'm saying
That was a
it was
win.
the most successful fight we've had.
That was a hugely
was.
successful fight. It went very well for you for a handful of reasons.
Most of which
reason-
were dice rolls.
I was gonna say it was almost all dice rolls. Well, reason
And-
number 1 is
and
Daru
making them
was
come
rolling.
to us.
Yeah.
That made a big difference. But Daru's dice rolls were hot, and mine were fucking awful. I couldn't hit you guys to save my life. As you guys are kind of like standing there, catching your breath after the combat, after the horse and the orc brutes and the icy rats go down, Daru and Plum are standing next to this acrid-smelling pit, and a gust of wind comes and kind of blows some of that acrid smell and some of the steam coming off of that pit towards Daru and Plum. And I actually have both of you guys give me a reflex save.
Gross. Plum will get a 15 reflex save.
Okay. Daru.
23.
Daru, you can kind of, like, the wind shifts and it starts blowing all this towards you, and you can actually feel, like, this slight burning sensation on your skin, so you hop back out of the way real quick. Plum, it takes you a second longer to realize it, and by the time you realize that this is blowing acidic fumes towards you, you're going to end up taking 4 points of acid damage.
Motherfuck. First damage I took in this whole combat, and we're out of combat. I move away from the damn thing. I move to the north, away from this gross cesspool pit of acid.
Does it have any glowing attributes like the water?
Nah, this one's dark and tarry almost.
Is this just your typical run-of-the-mill pit? Like,
Tar pit?
Tar pit, yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say typical running of the mill tar pit, but it does, visually, yes. It's a tar pit for reasons other than tar.
The fuck does that mean?
You think on it.
I don't want to. I don't want to think about it.
There appears to be a path to the north. I would like to investigate the path to the north.
Is there anything to the south, or is the map just not fully in there yet? Like in the third pin?
Oh, well, if Daru's going there, I'll go follow Daru.
I'm gonna go dive into the tar pit.
You gross bastard.
Did you miss the part where I dealt plum damage with it?
It's a mud bath, isn't it?
For orcs.
And Vorn's dead.
Mud Bath and Beyond.
Oh god. So, Plum, Dara, what are you two doing?
We're going to go check out what's out back there in that corner. If we die in here, Daru, I'm blaming you.
And here it's just a little pin.
As we go toward whatever is going to be revealed down there, I would like to make a perception and a stealth check. Do you want the stealth check to be secret?
I want them both to be secret.
Oh my goodness. Okay, here's my secret stealth. And here is my secret perception. For the listeners, I don't know what I got.
Not at all. I do. Dara, I want you to
That
do
would be the
same thing.
definition of secret.
Secret, yeah, secret.
Yes.
Secret. I rolled it secret.
All right, Dara's not going in stealthily. He's just walking up.
Yeah, I don't stealth. I literally have noisy on my armor.
Good point. As you kind of start walking back there, it's really too dark. It leads back into a cave, the pen does, when you open it up. It's a dark cave. However, you see a warm, flickering light, almost like a flame, coming from deeper within the cave. You can't really see where it's coming from exactly, but it's back there. Daru, you hear what seems to be the sounds of an animal in distress. I would say kind of like small whining noises. Yeah, there you go, like that.
How high is the ceiling in this cave?
I would say it's about 8 feet tall.
The wounded baby dragon.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's take its scales.
You also notice, Daru on this one, that the walls are blackened with what appears to be soot. It's thicker black at the top. As it works down, it gets lesser. In fact, you might notice that there might just be a thin covering of smoke at the ceiling of this cave.
Yeah, so the orcs have been living in this cave and been like having campfires and stuff in there, I guess. Seems like much more of a reasonable. Seems like a much more reasonable explanation than dragons.
Or sex parties.
No, I
Or
like the
sex
sex
parties.
parties. I think sex parties is accurate.
Thanks. He
Is
knows
there-
orcs.
Is there a check I can make to see if there are sex parties happening?
Yeah, go ahead and make a lore sex party check.
Ooh,
Let's see
I'm
if I-
expert in that.
I might have that. Does engineering count? I can engineer a sex party.
You
No.
can engineer a sex toy.
Do you guys go deeper into the cave?
I mean, I'll cast light on Daru's shield and let him go deeper into the cave.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm
and
curious.
then and tell me what's in there before I come in.
Let's get deeper then.
Get deep.
Stepping inside the cave, a cloud of smoke hovering around the ceiling becomes completely visible, and curled up in the back of the cave is a cat that looks to be on fire.
Nice.
It
Like, I'm in-
glares. It glares at the sight of another creature entering, letting out a weak snarl that fades into a plaintive yowl.
Well, put it out, the poor thing.
And I'm gonna share a picture with you guys.
So it doesn't want to be on
I
fire?
don't
It's
wanna
not
see
like
a picture of
a
the cat
hell
on
count?
fire.
A hell count?
Well, that looks like a cat that's supposed to be on fire. That's like a fire cat.
It is.
You were describing a very distressing image, and now it's just badass.
No, it is distressing. It is distressing. Obviously, it's a leopard. That's still technically a cat, but obviously this leopard is in pain.
Oh, they were doing experiments on the poor thing, and now it is just a fire leopard. I see.
So I've somewhat been following them towards this cave. Can I see this thing and do like a nature check to see if I can tell what it is?
Yeah. Vorn wanders in. Hey guys, what's going on in here?
Hey, there's a cat on fire. Nat 20. Girl got a 28.
Of course you did.
You know all about fire cats.
You know they shouldn't exist.
Yeah, I was
This is
gonna
fire
say,
leopard.
this one's rough because, this doesn't occur in nature. Then I'll just use that natural 20 to push the revulsion that this creature would make you feel for, like, how could anybody do this? to a leopard. This has obviously been experimented on. It is just a normal leopard, but it's been experimented on to the point where alchemically it produces fire around its skin all the time.
Like, I feel really bad for it, but at the same time, if we kill it and take its skin and the skin just stays on fire all the time, that could make for something pretty cool.
Ray of Frost. I'm putting it out of its misery.
Putting it out of its fiery misery.
I pee on it.
Well, 10 would have been an 18 total.
Okay, and this is for spell attack roll?
Correct.
Give me a second.
Does it not have a stat block? Are we not supposed to kill it? Shit.
What's your plus to damage?
It's a static 4. It's a D4 plus 4.
So Vorn, seeing this leopard constantly on fire, and it looks to be in pain, decides that the best course of action that he can take is to put the animal out of its misery. You aim a frosty bolt of energy right at the leopard's head, and you completely freeze it solid.
The leopard is dead?
Yeah?
Poor little kitty. Is its skin still on fire?
No, it's encased in fire. It's encased in ice now.
Oh. Well, if we go chip off the ice...
I'm going to slowly walk up to it and then stomp on its head.
Just in case, right?
And shatter the ice, yeah. I don't want to be... I don't want it to be on fire and frozen. I mean, that if it's still living at all, I mean, that's just terrible.
Then Vorn turns back towards the entrance of the cave, stepping over shards of frozen leopard brain. There's nothing else in this
Nothing else in the cave?
Nope.
I feel like there was something else we were supposed to do with that, but it's done.
It's done now.
It's done. My bad.
It does look like there's another path up to the north. Do we want to check out these other two pens first? Maybe we should do that. I'm going to go check out the pen to the east and make a perception check and see what I can find in there.
And this is where the icy rats were being kept.
The icy rat pen. I only get a 7 on my perception's pretty bad.
You find rat droppings.
Sounds about right.
Except for you don't know they're rat droppings. You just think it's dirt, so you step all over it.
No. There's rats on chips. I'm used to this shit.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll give you that.
I'll look at the pen to the north where the stone horse came from. At 25.
You find there's some hay that's in here. It's definitely has been kept by a horse. You see some odd piles of rocks randomly.
I pick it up, not knowing what it is, and wanting to examine it.
Is this rock horse droppings?
Oh, yeah.
Stone horse drop. I love it.
It's gotta be.
If you were to guess, it does. It looks like horse poop, except for it's almost like it's sandstone.
So a check I can make on it?
To find what more information than that?
Yes, I want to know what this is and if it's worth anything. Someone will pay for stone horse droppings that are little rocks.
I think most people would look at you and go, "Oh yeah, sure. You found some rocks in the fucking mountains, and now you're trying to sell them off as stone horse shit."
We got a stone horse that I can drag with me. Prove it. This is how we make our money. Let's sell this shit.
All right, let's go check out this north path.
Vorn puts a couple of rock droppings in his pack.
Just gonna save these.
I want everybody to give me a perception check.
Ugh, 9. Gross.
27.
Varnek gets an 18.
Vorn, as you walk up to the mouth of the cave entrance that goes north from this yard, you hear a couple of things. You hear what sounds like bubbling liquids, like not just a bubbling liquid, but several bubbling liquids. And it sounds like maybe there's a fire in here.
Bubbling liquid and fire? Goodness.
Well, I mean, the fire boils the liquid, so...
Oh, I wasn't thinking of it like that. That makes a lot more sense than what was in my head.
There's a fire, and then next to it, a bubbling liquid.
I was definitely thinking of it like a babbling brook. Well, let's go investigate.
Yep.
You go first. By you, I mean anybody who's not me.
Yeah, I'm not going.
You're not going at all?
I'm not going first.
I mean, I'll definitely go first. I just want to be able to see what I can see.
So from here, it definitely seems like back into the cave system here, there are some lights that are back here, maybe some lit torches. But it's a small winding tunnel that goes back. You can't see into wherever it goes, though.
All right, well, Varnek will move forward.
I will also move forward at a safe distance behind.
What do you consider a safe distance?
Let's go 10 feet behind. 10 feet behind.
Okay. Varnak, you walk in then?
Yes. Yep.
The bright light from outside is replaced by flickering torchlight in a narrow passageway cut deeply into the hillside. Suddenly, the passage opens into a broad, natural cavern containing a series of large tables on the far side of the room. A series of alchemical experiments, most bubbling and frothing as they cook, are arranged atop the workspaces.
Well, this sounds interesting.
And you see that kind of in the middle of the room, there's also a large cauldron with a bubbling concoction. And it looks like you see along some of these tables are, all of the different components of an alchemist's lab. There's a lot of equipment that's in here. And standing around a couple of the tables are two orcs that are kind of in leather smocks. They have goggles on and some leather gloves. And as soon as you guys walk into the door here, or in through the cavern, one of them kind of puts his head up, goes, "Oh, longer than pull," and then the other one sticks his head up, and they look at you. And we're gonna roll for initiatives.
Plum gets a 19 initiative.
Ooh, a big 26 for Varnak.
9.
16.
The first orc, the one that's closest to everybody, closest to the cauldron, he goes and grabs a random flask from the table that he's working on.
Oh, friend, we're not here to fight. I say in Orcish? Does that do anything?
Hold on, I'm counting range increments right now, 1 sec.
Damn it, no!
So the first one grabs a bottle from the work table, and you see him just kind of rear back and throw it at the entrance where Varnak is. Varnak, does a 21 hit you?
Yes.
21 hits you? Okay.
That's only one range increment for him.
So does a 19 hit you then?
Yeah, 19 still hits, but
19 does still hit. Okay. We did find out it's a -2 per range increment over the first. As this flask hits you and it shatters open, and suddenly this big ball of electricity encompasses you and it shocks you. Bzzz. This is a lesser bottled lightning.
That's cool. I need to take a look at the alchemist class. That it just sounds so cool.
There are so many fucking alchemical items. Varnak, the lightning is going to cause you 5 electricity damage, and Daru, you take 1 point of electricity damage because you're standing next to Varnak. Bro, you just got splashed with lightning.
Static electricity.
Static splash.
Static splash.
So its first action was picking up the alchemical item from the table. Its second action was throwing it, and his third action is going to be to pick up another alchemical item from the table. Then after that orc, it is Varnak's turn.
yeah, this really sucks. Because of how far away they are, I can't attack either one of them this turn. Yeah, no matter what I do, I can't get to either one of them without taking all 3 move actions.
Which it looks like is exactly what you do.
Which, I mean, I don't really have any other choice, so I'm gonna get up in this guy's grill. So I will take all 3 move actions to move 55 feet.
Right up to the one who threw the bottled lightning at you?
Yep. I don't like that guy, so.
Understandable. All right. After Varnak, it is orc number 2's turn. He's going to pick up an item from the table. It looks like he's not exactly picking at random. He takes a moment to see what he's doing, but he picks it up with 1 action. And with his second action, he throws it at Varnak. And Varnak, this isn't a vial that he picks up to throw at you. This is a small, well, it looks to be maybe a leather pouch. And
It's a bag of stone horse poo.
It's caltrops, actually.
actually caltrops. He misses, and the bag that he throws at you flies over your head. He doesn't compensate for your height. He's not used to that. It hits on the other side of you, and as the pouch hits the floor, it kind of splatters into this gooey, black, bubbling substance.
Gross.
He kind of curses because he missed you, and he goes to pick up another item from the table. And then that is his turn. Plum, you're up.
All right. Well, I am going to need to move to get around this corner here to be able to see anything.
Yeah, you're too deep in the hallway to see this.
If I move to here with my 25 feet of movement, do I have a line of sight on orc number 1 that Varnak is in combat with?
Yes.
Okay, so that is what I'm going to do. Try and get a little bit of focus fire here. Maybe. So if I look at this table, the big table that they're like pulling stuff off of, is stuff just like sitting on it?
Yeah. There's alchemical stuff all over the tables.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, I've got a new idea. So I want to like move to here. And tell me, if I were to use Gust of Wind, which is a 60-foot line, can I blow all the things that they're trying to pick up off the table and out of their reach?
It's a line, you said, right?
Let me read how it works to you.
Okay.
The wind extinguishes small non-magical fires, disperses fog and mist, blows object of light bulk or less around, and pushes larger objects.
Yeah, I would say absolutely then.
Is it a 5-foot wide line or?
Yeah, show me the
Yeah.
line on the map, and we'll talk about what happens.
It would be, I guess. Like that. I'm hitting most of the table like that. That's a 55-foot line.
It's 2 actions, right?
That would be 2 actions, yeah, because I used 1 action to move to where I'm at.
Plum puts his hands together and then spreads them apart, and this gust of solid wind goes across the table, filled with alchemical reagents, bubbling flasks, and the whole 9 yards, and a bunch of it flies off of the table, and some of it kind of veers off to the right and ends up hitting the orc that's on the other side of the room.
It's going to be a goddamn firework display.
David, I want you to roll 2 d20s.
2 d20s. I will roll 2 d20s. I roll a 7 and a 17.
Okay, so I'm gonna need you to look up stuff for me because I want you to be the one to resolve this. Randomly off the table blows a Tanglefoot bag and a Lesser Alchemist's Fire, and blows right towards the orc that's on the other side of the room.
That's perfect.
So I want you to go ahead and do the damage for those.
Okay, well, let's start with the Lesser Alchemist Fire. The bomb deals 1d8 fire damage, 1 persistent fire damage, and 1 fire splash damage.
So the splash isn't applicable as there's nothing standing next to him that it's going to make a difference on.
All right, I'll roll 1d8 fire damage.
Let's see it.
I roll a 1, so he takes 1 fire damage, and now also has 1 persistent fire damage. A Tanglefoot bag. Let's see here.
This one's a little bit different.
The creature takes a status penalty to its speeds for 1 minute.
It's a minus 10-foot penalty.
Looks like it. The target can end any effect by escaping or spending a total of 3 interact actions to carefully remove the sticky substances. They don't have to be consecutive, and
I didn't realize
other
that.
creatures can provide those actions as well.
So he ends up getting just pelted with this Lesser Alchemist Fire and this Tanglefoot bag, and he just kind of puts his hand up and he roars in confusion. Very well done, Plum. That was all
Loved
3
it.
actions, right?
Yes, that is all 3 actions I've done.
All right. Then Daru, you are up next.
I'll move up to this guy that Varnak was about to fight. 2
Okay.
movements, and I will swing at said creature or orc. We will roll a whopping 11 to hit.
11 misses.
That's unfortunate.
Is unfortunate. Then, after Daru, it is Vorn Storm.
Cool. I'll move further into the cave as my first action, and then I will fire off a ray of frost at the one we're focusing on. Well, the one that Varnak and Daru are on. Roll an 8, get a 16, and apparently that
16 does miss. All right. Then after Vorn, We go back to the top of the order, round 2. And it is the orc that is currently getting his business messed with by Daru and Varnak. So what the orc does is he actually uses his first action to move over to the other side of the table. He's going to use his second action to get underneath the table and push it and all of its alchemical ingredients and everything over onto Varnak and Daru. And I need both Varnak and Daru to both give me reflex saves.
Let me know if you need any more alchemical items looked up.
We'll see how this
Varnak
goes for
gets
these
a
guys.
19 on his reflex save.
Okay, Daru
10.
gets a 10. Okay, so Varnak, you roll 1d20, and Daru, you roll 2 d20s. Varnak, you get hit with a lesser alchemist's fire.
1d8 damage.
Daru, you also get hit with a lesser of alchemist's fire and a lesser tango foot bag.
Well, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does. So first, Varnak, you take 1 point of fire damage from the lesser alchemist fire. And
Okay.
you also have persistent 1 fire damage. And Daru, you're going to take 6 points of fire damage. And you also have 1 persistent fire. Well, after that orc tips over the table and scuttles out of the way, Varnak, you're up.
So he doesn't have anything. Does he still have something in his hand?
Like a weapon or something?
Well, like you said that last time he had picked one up before.
Yeah, they've been picking him up off the table, yeah. Are you looking for a weapon of some kind on it? He's
Yeah,
not holding
right.
any weapons right now.
Okay.
He has what looks to be like one of those orc knuckle weapons, the knuckle knives. What the hell are they called? Orc knuckle dagger, that's what it is.
Varnak's gonna go up against this other one. And 1 action to move up to it, 1 action to declare it as hunter's prey, and then 3rd action to do my twin takedown. So we will start with the battle axe swing. We will get a 17.
17 does hit.
Nice. We will do 10 damage to him with the battle axe. And then I will use my light hammer, and we will get a 19 to hit. So I'll
Which
assume
hits.
that's going to hit. And we will do 6 damage with that one.
Okay.
So total of 16 damage between the two.
Done some pretty good damage to this guy here. I want you to go ahead and take your persistent fire damage and make that flat check to see if you get rid of it.
Flat check a 10, so I fail.
Does not do it. Well, it is that guy's turn now. The one that you just sliced with your axe and smacked with your hammer. He takes a step back with an action. He is holding something that he picked up off the table earlier.
Okay.
And he throws it at you. Gets a 16 to hit you.
That will be a miss.
And it goes and flies off behind and hits the cave wall and bursts into a short ball of flame. And for his 3rd action,
Suck it, Orky.
right? he's going to actually scramble over to the other side of the long desk that's just to his backside and make it over with no problem. As he scrambles over the top of this desk to put some distance between himself and the crazy dwarf with the great axe and the hammer.
And don't forget, he also has 1 persistent damage.
Just a battle axe.
He does have 1 persistent damage, so he's going to take that and then attempt to resist. He fails with a 12. Then that's going to lead us over to Plum Pargeter.
I'm going to take a step action to get kind of in line of sight of Mr. trying to run away orc. I'm just going to launch a ray of frost at the guy.
Which one?
Orc number 2, the one that's now taking damage.
The one that's kind of taking cover on the other side of... He's not actually taking cover the action, but...
Right. Yep.
On the other side.
The one who jumped to the other side. Yep. He can run away from Varnak, but he can't run away from a ray of frost. So, spell attack action. Ooh, I roll a nat 20.
Nat 20. Is that first ray of frost crit we've ever had?
I think it's my first ray of frost crit. Incoming damage. That is going to be 14.
14. 14 points of damage. The orc stumbles and he kind of clutches at his chest where the ray of frost hit him, and he shakes it off. He looks like he should have gone down with that blow, but he did not.
So part of the critical success for Ray of Frost is that they take a 10-foot status penalty to its speed for 1 round.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if those stack, but
The Tanglefoot bag is just a untyped minus 10-foot penalty. So yeah,
true.
they totally stack.
Fantastic.
Cool. All right, so that guy he's moving really slowly right now, and he looks like he should be down, but he is still standing. Then after, Plum, you just 2 actions for Ray of Frost, right?
Yeah, I had to take a step action, I think, to get around that rock.
Oh, you did.
For line of sight. So yeah, I'm done.
Got it. All right, then after Plum, it is Daru's turn.
What kind of actions would be just probably get to Orc 1 here? Like, my movement's down to 20, so could I...
Well, he made an athletics check to scramble over the top of that long desk.
I'll do the same.
All right, go ahead and give me athletics.
26.
You're able to hop over that pretty nimbly, actually. Desna puts a little butterfly into you.
Get it out. So is that 1 action?
Yeah, that's 1 action.
Alright, well then I'll swing with the second action. A 27 to hit?
27 is a critical hit.
Okay. I will do some damage.
These guys are just getting their shit wrecked.
12 damage.
12 damage, huh? Oh, all right. Well, then, Daru, is that your turn?
Yeah.
Do you take your damage?
Yeah.
Go ahead and just do your flat recovery check, see if you make it.
Yeah.
That's a 20.
That 20 on the die, you are no longer taking that 1 persistent fire damage.
My athletics jump just kind of like washed it all off of me.
Then after Daru nimbly leaps over the table to smack this orc in the forehead, it is Vorn's turn.
okay. Vorn is gonna move first action towards orc number 1 to get in range to Tempest Surge him. I need a reflex save.
Good old Tempest Surge. All right. Reflex save?
Yep.
Okay. He rolls a 1 on the die for a total of 10.
Does Tempest Surge have a critical failure rules on it?
Yeah, that's a critical failure.
That's what I need to see here. No, it just says what happens on a regular failure. It doesn't say anything about critical.
Oh, that's too bad. Wait, does it say it's a basic reflex save?
It does.
Then that means they take double damage.
Okay. Yeah, it says target must attempt a basic reflex save.
The basic goes if you succeed, half damage, fail, full damage, critically succeed, no damage, critically fail, double damage.
So he will take 2d12 and then be clumsy 2 for a round, and also take persistent electricity damage.
Well, shit.
I get 10 damage for the 2d12, and then he's clumsy 2 for the round, and 1 persistent electricity.
I was like, you rolled a critical hit, except for I rolled a critical failure. So it's got to be. It's weird to get a critical success based on somebody else's failure.
Yeah, it's not as satisfying, to be honest.
That's what I was curious about.
Like, I got to roll 2 die, but it was like I didn't deserve it.
I mean, it also makes sense. Like, you try to duck out of the way and you trip and fall, or something like that. It's like,
No, I like it.
I can see why you can critically fail on those things.
It's just interesting. That's not something that I've ever had to deal with in an RPG before. Where if I really, really fuck up a save, it's basically the same thing as a critical hit against me.
Yep.
Well done, Vorn. Anything left in your turn there?
No, that's all 3 of my actions.
Then the order is going to go back up to the top. So the orc that Daru just ended up smashing in the face on the other side of the overturned table goes and runs around Daru, scrambles over to the other side of the table, and positions himself on the other side of the bubbling cauldron.
Oh no.
That's in the room, and puts both of its hands up against it and tips the cauldron over on to Daru.
Daru, no!
I
hope he burns his hands and dies.
Yeah, because that's what's going to happen. We're going to roll a d20, and it's going to determine what type of potion is in this cauldron. What type of...
Tanglefoot.
Alchemical weapon, right? So I'm trying to decide, am I going to roll that d20 or is Daru going to roll that d20?
Daru.
Ted.
What?
Make it a
Roll a
bestial
D20.
mutagen. Just make it so Daru is actually now badass.
Just turns me into a fire leopard.
This is how you become the Hulk. This is how you become the superhero. This moment right here.
This is my origin story.
Yeah, it turns out this campaign is actually Daru's origin story.
All right. The concoction that's in this bubbling cauldron is actually the catalyst reagents for a bottled lightning.
Hell yeah. Shock me. Turn me into
Why
Thor.
couldn't it be like a healing potion?
Well, it couldn't have been a healing. Well, if you had rolled a 19 or a 20, it would have been a healing potion. So this
0 point.
lesser bottled lightning is going to deal damage as though you were hit by 3 of them. You know what? Actually, you're going to need to give me a reflex save.
I am a high jumper. I could probably dodge this shit. A hero point.
Use me hero point. What'd you get?
I got 10 the first time. My hero point will be 18.
All right. With an 18, you succeed. So you're only going to take damage as though you were hit by 1 of these lesser bottled lightnings. And Daru, you take 6 points of electricity damage.
So now I'm Thor.
Yes. To me, you are.
All right.
Damage
And
has been dealt.
That was that orc's turn. This one does not have any sort of persistent damage. So it's now going to be Varnak's turn.
How tall is this bench that he jumped over?
That's standard desk. Like 3 feet high.
I want to try to do a long jump on top of it
I don't know if a long jump would work as much as a high jump would need to work. I guess I can't see somebody long jumping onto a taller surface. It's not really the point of the long jump.
I mean,
Right?
it's kind of a combination of both. I'm trying to jump. I mean, in order to jump far, you have to still jump up.
Well, yeah. So what's the difference though? What's the difference between making a long jump and a high jump, and why are you arguing for a long jump?
Well, I mean, either way. I mean, a high jump, you're trying to just jump like straight up and grab onto a ledge or something like that. Whereas like a long jump, you're trying to jump a distance.
Right.
But yeah, I also need to get a little bit of verticalness to it also. So I'm not really sure how.
I would still say it's a high jump, since you're trying to cross a distance vertically as opposed to crossing a distance horizontally. So you're trying to make a 15-foot.
Long jump. I think he
Long
can do that
jump.
with the feet. There's no reason he couldn't do that. As long as
Yeah.
he rolls the 15 DC, because I think it's just how far you're looking to do it.
What's the DC for it?
I think it's
I mean,
it's 1
the
to 1.
DC of a long jump is equal to how far you're trying to jump.
Right.
So 15 feet. So it did DC 15 athletics check.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Make your check.
Going for looking cool here. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna action point it because that's not cool. 24.
that was decidedly uncool.
It was decidedly uncool to get a 13 instead of a 15. So
Yes.
I'm gonna action point it so that I can look cool and leap. Basically, I just want to like scare the shit out of this guy. Leap on top of it with one action, and then just rain blows down on from the table.
You are going to scare the shit out of him. Okay. Then, yeah, you successfully leap up onto the desk from 15 feet away and go ahead and start raining blows down on this poor, terrified orc alchemist.
Yeah, so I'll start with there's a standard battle axe swing, and that's gonna be a critical miss. That's awesome.
All right.
Then we will go into my twin takedown, which will start with the battle axe swing. Oh my god, I look so cool jumping. Now I get a 9 to hit with my second attack. And then with my light hammer, 6.
Buddy.
I looked cool doing it at least.
Hey, man, that jump was bitchin'.
That's what's
attacks.
important.
This orc kind of cowers down and completely dodges all of your attacks.
Now he's gonna run away from me.
At a minus 20 speed, so he ain't gonna get far.
No, he's not getting very far, really, at all.
I mean, if it was at least close, I could like argue high ground for a bonus, but none of those rolls were even close.
Except for
so-
your rolls all sucked. All right, well then, Varnak, go ahead and take your persistent fire damage, and then roll that flat check.
I'm glad somebody remembers that. Nope, 9.
Nope. All right.
I had one good turn last turn. That's all I get.
Just one turn per session. That's all you're allowed. Then the orc that got just completely taken aback, he takes a step backwards with his first action. With his second interaction, he draws a vial from his belt pouch. With his third action, he throws an alchemical bomb. And does a 21 hit you, Varnak?
Yep, it does.
21 hits. Then he is going to hit you with a lesser alchemist fire. He's going to deal you 7 points of damage. You already have your 1 persistent fire damage, so you can't take another one. However, he takes his 1 persistent fire damage, clutches at his chest, and shakes it off. This orc is now wounded 2. It is Plum's turn.
Well, see, that's what I was figuring. It's like if I could just like hit him like 3 times and just take him out.
Yeah.
Go through that ferocity or whatever.
And I am going to just try and take him out. I will another ray of frost at him.
Okay.
Spell attack. I will get a 25 to hit.
25 hits.
Fantastic.
And you end up hitting him, and he does the same thing. He staggers, but he shakes it off.
I deal him 5 damage, and he's what now? Wounded 3.
Wounded 3 at 1 HP.
With my final action, I'm going to do something I haven't done for a while. I am going to raise shield.
Oh. Then after Plum, it is Daru's turn.
Alright, so like, is the cauldron like tipped on its side now?
It's tipped over on its side now, yeah.
Alright, I'm going to attempt a 20 athletics check to like use the cauldron and jump behind said orc number 1.
Could you run that by me one more time?
I'm gonna jump on the cauldron and then jump off the cauldron.
Got it. Okay. You could probably do that with a leap action.
Dude, I have a feat, bro. It's so much cooler just to
Okay. Alright, you're right. You took a skill feat for it. Do your feat. Is that 20 DC you're trying now?
Yeah,
Alright, good luck.
but it's hip.
Looking cool during combat's all the rage.
Just be careful. If you do make it, you end up missing on all your attacks.
Yeah, so I get right about here, and then I kick off of it and land right here, and then smash him in the face.
Daru jumps up onto the cauldron, kicks off of it, does a front flip over the orc, lands on his feet, and then smacks him in the face.
Oh, well, here we see if that's the case. No.
Oh my god! Natural
I'll
1.
roll
Looks
a 1.
very familiar. Very familiar.
Jesus.
Looking cool, not hitting shit. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, Daru, very well done. That was fun.
You still have another action, don't you?
I guess.
Oh, you do.
Oh, alright.
Hey,
How about
that's
a
better.
21?
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
21 does hit.
I'll deal 9 points of damage.
Boom. Okay. So this guy hasn't started his whole orc ferocity bit yet. So he is now wounded 1 at 1 HP. As he's staggering on the edge of consciousness. And that's going to take us over to Vorn.
So, I need you to confirm something for me. Are they within 30 feet of each other, the 2 enemies? I've been trying to count it, and I keep getting 30 on the dot.
30, yeah. That's what
I
I
get
get.
exactly 30, yep.
I electric arc them. Reflex saves.
Oh, nice. Okay. Okay.
I don't think it really matters. They automatically take damage, though.
They could critically succeed.
That's true.
Which they don't. They get a 17 and an 18 respectively.
Okay.
But they're both at 1 HP.
Yeah.
So they're both going to go down. Now, Orc 2, the one that Varnak went and jumped on the table in front of, he was on his last leg. He was wounded 3. Now he ends up falling permanently. He is dead.
Nice.
Dead.
The other guy is wounded 2. And it is top of the order. It's his turn. What he decides to do is he uses an interact action to draw his orc knuckle dagger. And then he's going to swing at you twice with it, Daru.
You guys don't know when to give up.
They really don't.
Daru, does a 13 hit you?
No.
On his second swing, 12 doesn't hit you either.
No.
And it's Varnak's turn.
Well, now Varnak's gonna move over next to him.
You hop down off the desk that you spent your hero point getting on top of.
Yep. Gonna do that. So just jumping down, is that a full action?
Yeah, I'll say it's part of your move.
Okay.
Down is easy.
So 1 action to move over, 1 action to mark him as my hunter's prey,
Okay.
and then 3rd action twin takedown. So we'll swing with the battle axe and get a 26.
That will hit.
And I guess damage probably doesn't really matter, but I do 12.
Not really. He goes down, uses his ferocity, brings himself to 1 hit point, and he is now wounded 3.
Okay, I will come back with my light hammer with the offhand and get a 24 to hit.
24 also hits.
Okay, we will deal him another. Jeez, I rolled max damage on both of those. Another 10 damage.
All right. With the light hammer, you end up crushing his esophagus, and he falls.
Thanks for joining us here at the MNmaxed Podcast. We want to encourage you to follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, at MNmaxed. That's MNmaxed as always. Many of the sounds you hear in the MNmaxed Podcast are provided by Sirenscape. Check them out at Sirenscape.com. Join us again next week as we continue our adventures into the Fall of Plaguestone and Pathfinder Second Edition. Until then, we hope you have many great adventures of your own.